Welcome back, ladies and gents, to another Yelwonkk video. 2 Yelwonkk videos in 2 days. I never thought I'd see the day, but here we are. I'm actually kind of having a blast with this. By the way, I'm informal Yelwonkk today. It's boiling hot in here still, and I can't hack the suit again 2 days in a row. However, that doesn't mean we're not going to have a good time. And also, just a quick thank you. Yelwonkk just hit 1,000 subs. I know I'm not necessarily building this up from scratch, but there is a sense of that with this channel. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I don't worry so much about the numbers. They are what they are. And I'm doing my own thumbnails for the first time in a very long time over here. And they're rubbish. They're nowhere near as good as the stuff I have on the main Noli channel. But, I don't know, there's something kind of pure about the creative process with it, and I'm doing the stupid reaction faces. I'd never do that in a million years on the main channel, but here I think we can get away with it, because it's just the more light-hearted approach, I guess, we're going for with this channel, and so far from the comments, I think you guys who are watching are enjoying it, so I'm not going to change too much up. That being said, let's not just keep talking about myself. Let's move on to what the video is actually about, which is the behind the scenes, which goes through the 3.7 update, which is coming out tomorrow, mostly consisting of the 99 boxes rework. However, this video, classic bait and switch, keep you guys around. The best is saved for last. The biggest spoils and information about upcoming updates is saved right to the end when Andre returns, so keep an eye out for that. But first, we're going to run through the heist. So let me click play, and we'll see Matthias.
So I have some news.
And his jacket.
Andre's gone.
They got him.
For vacation, that is. So in the meanwhile, I'll be going to be covering for him, and I have Bing Bong with me.
One take Matthias.
So we're going to be using him.
From the school of Yelwonkk, I appreciate it. And he's Bing Bong. Slay the Spire fans rejoice.
Him for holding the microphone. We're going to check what's new for 3's. And here we have Emil and Gabriel. Hello there. So what do you have for us this time?
So for this time, we have a remake of 99 Boxes. We focused on reworking a little bit of the objective flow.
Suitably nervous about the microphone. I'm surprised by the quality of it. Just quickly, 99 Boxes, this is the heist that probably most needed a rework out of the starting 8. It's been all over the place. It's infamous. It's definitely the least popular heist sort of in the online space as far as Payday 3 is concerned. But yeah, it was maybe the biggest Wi-Fi circle contributor in terms of the hatred for that system. They got rid of the Wi-Fi circles, obviously. They added parkour. The heist got a little bit better, but it also got a hell of a lot easier. And then it was kind of trivial to the point of not being worth playing for that reason. I think it's very open. The spawns are a little frustrating. There's a lack of cover, or the cover that we do have doesn't feel like it's cover on all sides. I don't know. It's just not a heist that many people seem to vibe with, which I think does make remaking it from the bones it already has a really tricky task. So quite an uphill battle with this one, but we'll see what they've done to try and improve it.
In the level. And we also updated.
And actually, immediately you can see one of the things they've already done to improve it. And we're in debug mode, so we can see everything. We can see loot secure locations, asset locations. We can actually see escape locations, which is what you're seeing here. And you can see they've duplicated the escape. Normally it was always in this right truck. Now, sometimes the loot secure location will be the left truck, which, I mean, they're 10 meters apart. Is that going to make a big difference? Maybe. Maybe a bigger difference than you would expect. It's sort of from the same school of thought as the regular bank heist in Payday 2, where the vault can spawn in 1 or 2 locations. There's barely any difference in terms of the actual location, but when you play a heist over and over, it does add to that sense of this is a different bank, or this is a different time. And that's the kind of RNG and randomization that goes a lot further than you might initially expect. So I think this is a good idea to just add some more escape variations, even if they're not wholly different.
Some of the lighting, some of the art, like we usually do with these remakes.
Lighting-wise, you can see...
But
oops.
the
Let's
main
try and
point...
get it when it's not super fuzzy. Lighting-wise, you can see it's there's no huge differences here. I would say there's been some lighting improvements, but there's no filter removal like we saw with the Fallout 3 and New Vegas filters on like No Rest for the Wicked. Inside, you can see the most major differences. They've kind of warmed up the color scheme within the warehouse, while the external sides are all still quite cold feeling. I think that's a nice little addition, but it's nowhere near as sweeping a visual change as we've seen on some of the other remakes.
In this level, it's actually the objective flow. And we also added a big changeover in how the objectives are presented. And we also made it there's a chance of a random objective playthrough where we kind of flipped the concept of what the current level is and made some part of it a little bit easier.
Yeah, interesting. So that's pretty much the approach they had with No Rest for the Wicked, where they didn't necessarily get rid of the original way to play through the heist. You can still do the thermite burn through the roof. But what they instead added was some variations depending on how you choose to play the heist or depending on actual RNG. Suddenly you can find yourself drilling, you can find gold inside, which means no die packs, things like that. That was the sort of school of thought with No Rest, and I think you're seeing something similar here where the original version of 99 Boxes will still effectively be playable but streamlined, but there'll also be other variations of the heist that feel entirely different.
Added new hiding spots that you've seen in the other remakes.
Yeah, so adding new hiding spots, that doesn't mean for the player, that means for bodies.
And updated some VO, more cameras,
New
less
shade
cameras,
VO is always nice.
and so on.
Necessary if you change your objectives, I guess.
This one. You did.
Yeah,
So first Payday level.
it was actually my first Payday level.
Your first own. You've been helping out a little bit on the other ones.
Yeah, exactly. But this was the first Payday level that I had like the main control over. And
That sounds like hell. Probably the toughest remake, and it's your first one to try and take on.
you said, the primary goal of this rework was to increase the replayability pretty much in the level, which
I think is a sensible
was
approach.
mostly solved through more randomization, because the original 99 boxes did not have that much randomization.
No, it was basically the two separate courtyards, and then there could be some randomization in terms of where the actual loot spawned, but for the most part, it was always the same sort of locations, no matter what.
Yeah.
At all.
So, just by chance, we actually got one of the new randomization types just when I pressed play. Ooh. So, what we did is that there's a chance of you getting the normal spawn, like you starting outside of the warehouse, you're looking at it, but we also wanted to spice it up a little bit, so we actually made a whole objective where we spawn inside of the yard, and then the task would instead to get into the warehouse. So,
the mic just about hanging in there. It's actually surprisingly high quality. Yeah, so immediately you can see a few things.
Oh, but just by chance, actually,
zoom it in. Yeah, perfect. So you can see Wolf and Dallas are masked up, but that means that this is not a casing mode variation of the heist, which is a bit weird, right? Assuming that the regular version still starts in casing mode. It's not a massive difference, because 99 Boxes requires you to mask up at some point, but it's a little bit odd that there's a no casing mode variation here. But I do think this is a cool concept of being like Trojan horse directly into the courtyard.
Right now, so here we are, ready up in that container.
Within
so
an extra
when I go
box.
and open it up, you kind of see that for you who have played a little before, you'll see that, oh wait, this is the end part, but now this is actually where you start.
So what are some of the random things we can expect?
The normal stuff like camera positions, some key objectives, where loot is hidden and so on. For those who have played before, you will notice that, okay, some stuff is simple.
So you can see the gate, obviously you'll open that in stealth. It's not working currently because things have already gone loud.
But tweaked a little bit. But for example, here we added this.
This FOV is headache inducing, by the way. It's extra zoomed in because they're trying to avoid having all the debug mode stuff on the side of the screen so they don't spoil future updates. But oh my god, it's
where you
dizzying.
can actually call in a container to drop on this.
Ooh, new prop. So you can see immediately there's a new prop there. It's going to make it easier to get to the upper level of the crates, which always was the hardest thing to do. I think that's a good idea. Develop the parkour system, which is kind of this heist number one feature.
Lock the gate, and that works for both the randomizations, and it's something we want to kind of look more at. Like, how do we make cool, memorable moment that looks like it's straight from an action movie?
Yeah, and that's exactly what they should be doing with Payday 3 moving forward, right? Some of the best moments you have are like blasting through the gate on 99 Boxes or through the wall to the vault. Fear and Greed, which I would say is actually the asset inspiration for this. Moving the container right at the end out back upside the stock exchange. Best moment in that heist by a long shot. And there you're using the crate as a bridge. But here we're using it a little bit more destructively, which I think is a really cool idea.
And then we also, since we added new traversal options with you being able to climb with it everywhere, we had to rearrange collisions all over the level. So you can now move around more freely.
And that was probably a nightmare. I know this is probably the heist with the most out-of-bounds bugs and things, because it's just so easy to bunny hop all over the place and mantle onto things you weren't meant to. So I think this makes sense. And actually being able to get up where you want to from a jump is so much more satisfying now, even before these changes in hitboxes. Because one of the main problems at launch was you go for a jump you could obviously make. You wouldn't make it. You'd fall. You'd take full damage. Just so frustrating.
Then you
Taking that out is
you will
fantastic.
see some props that have moved around. Some have like been modified a bit to like
good attention to
make
detail,
this
I guess.
work a bit better. Like some container doors, like here, would block the path, so we just simply remove them. So it's one of the cool new things we added.
Excuse me? What language is that? Is someone speaking backwards? Or is that, like, the strangest Swedish dialect I've ever heard? Anyway, that's sick, right? The crane drop is so cool. It's the closest moment I think we're going to get, at least for the time being, to, like, the Floyd the Pig drop in Big Bang. Really sick. I love the environmental destruction, and it feels like you're really heisting and changing the landscape you're working through. It's just such a cool way to clear a path on this heist.
Oh, it looks very cool.
Yeah, super cool. Yeah. So this is also something that could
That's a dramatic entry. Even Shade agrees.
happen in the other walkthrough of the level as well, where you start in a warehouse and then you do this, so it's like flipped.
There's also some general like level improvements as well regarding the warehouse, for example. As there was no path towards the east yard for the warehouse, so we added a door on the east side as well, as this is the west side. So
I mean, that makes sense, actually, like widening the play space. This is actually the heist probably with the biggest unused play space in the game. It's massive, but especially with the old set of objectives, you wouldn't use half of it, you know? So I think widening that, making greater use of it, even if it's just a way to move around the map and traverse it, it can be useful. Because actually, on Overkill, if you're not expressly using a highly meta build, basically something with grenades that has high kill per minute, being able to move and flank around the map is how you stay alive. So making more use of that play space and making traversal easier is a sensible move, I think.
it's easier to traverse the entire level, really. Not regarding any, or not taking into account any of the actual sides that the actual main loot is on. So both sides should stay nice when you actually, or feel nice when you move around.
So the main objective of the level is still the same. You still need to get the refrigerator loot, and it's just like, where are they now, instead of the yard starting side, and vice versa.
Yeah, you can see the Wixie containers have basically been moved out from that courtyard and into the warehouse.
So the main objective is still the same. It's just like how you approach those that are different. We also nerfed the bag a little bit, the timer when you have to deliver the
Sensible. It was basically impossible without the favor, wasn't it? Especially in stealth.
So they are
harder.
No, it's easier now. It used to be very hard, but I nerfed it with like a few. I can't remember how many seconds now, but it should be a bit forgiving than it was before.
It was almost impossible to get back the loot.
You have to be really good.
Yeah, or have that pre-planning.
Yeah. So now we have to search these white containers by going up to them and check the serial number of them, and then we were told
exactly the same as the regular
so
objective, just in reverse. You can actually see they have the QR codes on them as well in stealth. How you obtain those QR codes, I don't know whether that will have changed, but it seems like a similar objective, just done in sort of reverse order. And also, I think it's probably going to be easier, especially in stealth, doing it inside the warehouse as opposed to out in the open, which is also a secure area, and moving around quickly will alert all the cops around you.
We also introduced some new pre-plannings in this level as well.
Good. We've seen
so
that
here,
quite a lot, because as objectives are changed, certain assets become useless effectively. Like, will we need a zip line on this heist? Now you literally drop a container in to make your entrance. Probably not.
We have placed C4 in the level that you can pick up and then use them on the containers. So if you don't have a favor,
C4's a sensible addition,
you
right?
will have to call in a
Better than
helicopter
faster
that then
thermite.
pops.
Probably going to be the dominant strategy, which is a shame because the asset favor system is so bare bones. There's no way to actually buy them. And I suspect running C4 will be the fastest way to play this one. But that's more of a system problem. I still think it's a good addition.
The container itself, but with this pre-planning, you just can place the C4 straight on the door.
And you can do both at the same time,
instead.
right? Immediately, compared
Makes
to
things
thermite.
slightly faster.
And cooler as well.
Yeah, exactly, and cooler. That usually will go for the cooler the better.
The old Payday 2 philosophy.
It was quite a bit of challenge to script all this because you can do so many things at the same time. So it took some while to get a hang of it.
The explosion doesn't look
once we
great,
did
but
it,
the
it
actual
felt pretty
like
good.
busted doors look really
But
cool.
definitely worth it.
Oh, a pro at
What have
lockpicking.
they done to Matthias?
Done it a few times before.
I mean, I know some people that have been doing that for a couple of years now, and they're still pretty bad at it.
Why is he looking at me like that?
They also changed
Felt like
depending
a
on what
personal
difficulty you
attack.
play. Like this is on normal difficulty, so it's pretty straight off.
And you can see
straight-
escape is,
like,
is
straight-
altered. If you get this spawn, escape is where you spawn. You run them back to the bags back to where you started. Because I assume this is a truck. Yeah, it looks like a truck, right?
straightforward, but otherwise it's it's a bit harder.
Yeah, I see wheels.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys. Super cool.
Thank you, Matti.
Okay, so this is the big one, right? Everything in this in frame right now, and probably just out of frame. Spoilers for upcoming updates. Everything. Starting point: Hayao Miyazaki. Spirit of the Way crossover. Now, in all seriousness, same with like June. I'm not sure we're getting that, but if Andre's put it on show, it's on show for a reason. So, without going too deep into that, think about the props he's using. Also, some interesting things. We've got the patterns on the Dallas masks up here. Assumedly, these are coming with the update because I think this is kind of the American flag we see draped over 99 boxes. This up here is a new outfit. I'm getting there. This is the over 9,000 saw coming to Payday 3. Yes, it's been heavily teased. We saw the chainsaw last time around. He's been desperate to spoil this one for us.
Yes, Emil and Swedish.
And we can actually see a bigger version of it here. You can see it looks absolutely beautiful. This looks like an actual in-game render with a new mask, with a new suit that seems to kind of go alongside it. It looks like the kind of thing they're going to put into a crime bond in the future. And I think at that point, crime bonds will make way more sense to people. It'll be like, I see this is a play style and a look that all kind of goes together as one thing I would like to strive towards unlocking. And then playing that fantasy. I know the heisting fantasy is overused, but playing that out in the heist. Now, how is the saw going to work? Well, first of all, we know it's going to be an overkill weapon. I'll show you why in a minute. But I think it's going to lean less so on being a utility option and more so an actual weapon like the Sociopath baseball bat. I say that because I don't know how many objectives it could actually not like warp too heavily. So I think the deposit box is breakable. Doors, breakable, but like would you bother when you can just lockpick them? But other than that, I don't see a world in which it actually sees utilitarian usage. Unless the game saw massive rebalance as to how the objectives work. Because being able to call an overkill weapon for that, kind of crazy. Will it work in stealth as well? That's another question to ask. I don't know. I think it probably will, and I think it will be useful for things like No Rest for the Wicked. Will Sociopath still just be better because it gives you that immunity to damage effectively? Maybe. Do I care? No. The saw is actually such a cool addition, and I'm shocked to see this is the next melee weapon they've decided to add.
Johnny Sins. This video
This is Swedish Johnny Sins. That's Gabriel. Poor guy.
is amazing, but somebody has to edit it. And since Benji is on vacation, I have to do it.
Okay, so yeah, you guys have already worked it out by now. This is a new shooting gallery, a place to test out your builds, your new crew call. What do they call them now? Crime bonds. That's the one. Test out that equipment. You can switch loadouts. You can fire, and assumedly it'll give you feedback on your damage. Is it a safe house? I don't know. I get the feeling this is the extent of what they have to show as far as like customizable safe house is concerned. But it's a fantastic start, like an actual functional shooting gallery that doesn't just take place in that awful beige warehouse we used to have.
I'm
It looks
very
great.
proud at all of them for not spoiling anything. True professionalism at display. This
It's crazy Payday 2 came out with a shooting gallery, but this one didn't.
is what we strive at Starbreeze.
Yeah, there you can see you can switch the loadouts.
Professionalism.
And here are the overkill weapons. And again, there's your confirmation. The saw is going to be an overkill weapon. It glows exactly the same way, and you'll be able to try it out in the safe house.
Fuck it.
So, yeah, the classic. It's Andre, what do you expect? I think it's a nice way of doing it, right? Because we don't have a roadmap. We know they're all going on vacation. We're not sure what's going to happen in August. Could also be a quiet month, September, October. I expect the roadmaps are going to be this sort of 3-month cadence, but we've got to wait for that. So filling the gap with some really, really cool teasers is a good way of going about it, and it gives us confidence at the very least that there is going to be another major update on the horizon. You know, they wouldn't release the Saw if they didn't have some long-term plans for the game. I also think there's something else right behind his head that I'm kind of fascinated in. Look at these pants. They look kind of like Spurs, like cowboy boots. God knows what this is. This could just be like a picture of Andre in cosplay for all we know, but this one's a little more hidden. I don't know whether they are intentionally keeping it out of vision, but another cool piece of what I assume is Payday concept art or in-engine renders. Really cool. Can't wait to try out the Saw. No idea what update it's coming out in. Don't misread this. It's not coming in 3.7. We know this is going to be a smaller update. We know the 99 Boxers edition is kind of it, because that's all they really showcased here in the video proper. But pretty damn cool that they're showing off content this far in advance, and he has that kind of confidence. I don't know who gives the okay on this. It might just be Andre. But as far as I'm concerned, it's the right way of going about it. So that is the update 3.7 pre-release coverage as far as I'm concerned. You can obviously stick around on the Noli channel, that guy. There will be an update video. I don't really do update videos these days. It's more of a Heist review kind of thing that will be coming out tomorrow when the update actually launches. But otherwise, yeah, it's been kind of cool making 2 Payday videos in this format in 2 consecutive days. Stay tuned, guys. More from Yelwonkk, more from Noli. It's a much better time, I think, for me, the channel, and for Payday in general. So enjoy it while it lasts, guys. It's lasted for a while in the past, and then we've had hell. So let's hope for no more hell. Thanks again. Take care. I'll see you soon.